Hey, it's Adewale here, and you guys knew that once I found out a way to do this, I was definitely going to do it. So we've got our totally free. You don't have to be shackled to any organization paying monthly fees for API tokens. You have access to this. It's running on your computer. You just need three things. You need the server, which is a free app. I will show you how to get the app once I release this. You need the LLM, the large language model. I'll show you again how to get that large language model that works perfectly for this. And both are installed on your computer. And then you need my app, which is going to be like the front end, helping you talk to that large language model. And those are the three things you need and to install on your computer. And once you have those three things, you don't have to pay anybody anything. Yeah, you don't have to pay anybody anything. It's run on your computer, and no matter what country you are in, it's going to work as long as you have a computer that can run it. Okay. Somebody asked me what specs is necessary. I think from what I've heard online, people with very low specs have been running this particular LLM on laptops that have very low specs. I know my computer, while it's not the extremely high end, someone was asking me earlier on what specs are needed. It's running very smoothly on my computer, and I'll show you in a minute. So my specs are Windows 10 x64 desktop. I'm running a Ryzen AMD 9 55900X, and I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM on my system, and it's running perfectly on my system. But I'm going to be trying on the lower specs of my wife and my daughter's laptops, and I can report back what happens on that later. But for now, I just wanted to give you a sneak peek into how the app works. I'll just run a few things to show you that it really works well. So let's start with something very simple. What is love? So love is a feeling that fills your heart and soul. Is the warmth that spreads through you when you look into someone's eyes and know that they make everything right in the world. It's the way your heart keeps a beat when you see them, and how your whole body tingles with anticipation at the thought of being near them. Love is the force that connects us to others, bringing us closer than we ever could have imagined possible. In short, love is everything beautiful and wonderful about life. Okay, that is superb. That's superb. And just for people who are thinking, especially about fact checking, my take is that this LLM is really as good as GPT-4 in the kind of content it's able to create. And this is one of the reasons why I felt, oh, it's ready to put this out. It's ready that I put this out. Okay, so let's go a little bit more complex. Now, because I've created in the app itself, I've added some random access memory in the ways that things a little bit like human beings. You know how we have our real-time memory going in the background of our minds when we're thinking, which helps us to connect things together. So I've created a bit of a virtual memory system for the app so that it remembers a little bit of the conversation. I mean, when you go too far in the conversation, you may not remember what happened earlier, but it will be able to connect two parts of the conversation together. So I could say to it, okay, what did you just with me about? And it will remember what it talks about. I mean, again, because it's running on your computer, sometimes it may take a little bit to start writing. And once you start writing, you can see the speed of production of the content is very fast. So it remembered what it talked about. Just to show you that that's not a fluke, let me change the topic. Tell tell me, why do cats hate dogs so badly? So as you can see, the way it's sort of demarcated, I just put these two lines whenever, so that you can tell between your questions and the LLM's responses, the AI's responses. Okay, so while cats and dogs can certainly coexist peacefully, there are some instances where they may not get along as well as their owners would like. Here are a few possible reasons why. Different communication styles. Cats and dogs communicate in different ways. Cats may use body language such as arching their backs or hissing to show aggression, while dogs may bark and growl. Without understanding each other's cues, it's easy for misunderstandings to arise. Okay, anyway, but you see, it's having that conversation about cats and dogs. So what if I abort that and ask, what were we talking about before we talk about cats and dogs? Oops, that's the wrong spelling, but it's able to tell what the meaning of the sentence, even if you make a wrong spelling. So what I'm trying to do is to see whether it can remember the conversation prior, and yeah, it does. Love. Our conversation was about defining love in our own words. Cats and dog just came up as an interesting side note because they can sometimes have conflicting dynamics in a household. And what is now done, or I didn't ask it to do that, is taking the conversation that we had before, taking the conversation about cats and dog, and actually created a connection between them, which I wasn't expecting. Okay. So now let's take this to a deeper level. An analogy to explain the concept of love. It seems completely bizarre and unconnectable, but let's see what it does. So it's thinking. Love is like using the toilet. It's something that feels really good inside our bodies. And we can't help but smile and feel warm when we think about it. Just like how we go to the bathroom to get rid of things in our body. Love helps us to get rid of our bad feelings, like sadness. Oh wow, that's a very good connection and explanation. When we love someone, we want to be with them all the time because they make everything right in the world. Like how we want to use the toilet when we need to go. Love is something that we always want to feel and share. It's a special feeling that connects us to others in a very special way. Right? Okay. Amin's done a very brilliant job creating an analogy for something that is that bizarre, and it makes total sense. Okay, let's give it a bigger challenge. Now I want to go to one of my extensions, and this extension, the idea here is picking up on prompt, and the prompt is a complex prompt, and the idea of the prompt is to try and find out a problem within problems and describe a problem within problems. In a way, what we're trying to do here is to be able to discover a pain point, and the pain points within the pain points described in a way that the person feeling the pain point can relate and extremely well. So the pain points we're talking about is emotional exhaustion. So let's send that in and see what the LLM, the AI, generates with that. And so with this now, it's taking on the persona of that individual that is telling it to imagine you are like. So let me read the prompt so you understand the concept here. So imagine you are struggling with emotional exhaustion. Now let us peel back the layers of the main issue you're grappling with. Identify one highly specific situation, time, or emotional state that you feel amplifies this problem. When does this typically occur? Are there discernible patterns? Describe the emotional and physical sensations you're experiencing during these instances in as much detail as possible. Do you notice any thoughts or beliefs that seem to fuel these sensations? Are there particular people, places, or objects that trigger you that triggered this for you? How does this specific challenge affect your broader issues? So you can see that that prompt is a very complex prompt. It just becomes a piece of cake for this AI, right? So it's taking on this persona now. Emotional exhaustion is a constant struggle for me, but it seems to be amplified during stressful work projects. When I'm working on a deadline intensive project with a tight timeline, I often find myself feeling overwhelmed and drained emotionally. This typically occurs in the late evening or early morning hours when I am working for extended periods of time without breaks. During these instances, I experience a heavy weight in my chest and a sense of dread that settles into my bones. My thoughts become clouded and I struggle to focus on the task at hand. My breathing becomes shallow and rapid, and I feel like I'm suffocating under the weight of the workload. The physical exhaustion is compounded by mental fatigue as my mind feels foggy and sluggish. Okay. Can you see how in-depth that is? How in-depth that is? That is GPT-4 level in-depth, right? And it's one of the reasons why I felt this was ready to come out, because this particular LLM was doing a very powerful, job, isn't it? Okay, let's abort that. Okay, so that's taking something really complex now. Let's try something else. Write me the lyrics of a song. Write me the lyrics of a song, making sure it rhymes with the word dumb. Okay, that's the writing. I'm feeling pretty numb. I'm feeling pretty numb. My head is in such a dump. Can't seem to shake this silly plumb of thoughts that keep rolling. Dumb, my mind is so dumb. Trying to make sense of everything as I fumble and stumble along. Dumb, my heart beats so dumb. Falling for the same mistake time and time again. It's a never-ending tomb. That's about okay. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. It wrote the song, made the rhymes. Piece of cake. So much you can do with this. Now, this is just the beginning of what I have planned with this. So this just gives us the ability to just chat with this AI so easily, and you obviously can use it to write your articles. You can use it to write so many things, but I'm going to be creating dedicated tabs for different types of things. So you just use one sentence to write complex articles. You use one sentence to write a complex sales page, a very clear, easy to read sales page. Obviously, you use one sentence prompt to write. You're going to be able to write a whole 3, 7, 10 day series of email campaigns, all targeting things properly. So the sky's the limit with this. What I have in mind with this. So if you are or not, if you want to know how to grab this, right? Again, as I said, the app is completely free. Free in a sense that once you have it, you don't have to pay anything else. So I'm going to be charging £10 for it. Obviously, those of you who manage to get in for the first 10 people to show interest, so we're going to get in this for free. I ask other people after those 10, yes, support the project I'm doing here. Once you buy this, all the upgrades I'm planning to it will be free for you as well. And obviously, I'm selling it for £10 now. Once the app is developed, the prices may go up later on. So if you get in get in for it now, £10, which means you're going to get access to any kind of upgrade I place on it to make this even way more powerful. So congratulations to the 10 of you in the group who are able to pick this up for free. Anybody else who's interested in buying on gaining access to this, again, all you pay is just £10 to use the app. Once you have the app, you don't have to pay for the LLM. You don't have to pay for the servers, the software that's going to be running the server for the LLM. Those are all free. And once the software, those three softwares, the server, the large language model, this is the LLM, and the front end that I've coded. Once you have all them on your computer, you are not paying anybody any more dimes. You don't have to keep paying for API. And what's more, if you're in a country that don't have access to OpenAI's API, you can get this as long as you got a computer that can run it. You've got a fully viable alternative to GPT-4 in your own computer. So for those of you who would want access to this, all you just have to do is join my Facebook group. I'm going to put in the link to the Facebook group in the descriptions below. So join the Facebook group, and then you get the link to where you can buy this. Again, I say it's just going to cost a very low price of £10. You pick this up £10 and you never have to pay any other organization a dime to get GPT-4 level conversations on your PC privately, totally free. Okay, so please, if you're finding this helpful, subscribe, like, share, help my channel grow. The more you help me, the more I'm helping you to make this develop. Tell any of your friends who you know would love access to something like this to come and see this as well. Thank you so much for being patient with me all this while. I know it's been a while since I posted something last, but as you can see, I've been hard at work behind the scenes. There's a lot more beautiful stuff coming, more powerful stuff coming. Now that I am able to get this level of a working app going, I'm going to be building on top of this, and you're going to see a lot more amazing things come through. Okay, all right then. Speak to you later. Bye.